Welcome to the Simply Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is October 24th, 2014. My name is Lynn Marquedant and I'm your host. Thanks for joining. I hope you have a project. It's amazing what we can get done together in 60 minutes. So welcome, and for those of you who were with me last week, sorry for the technical difficulties. We were on the road out in West Virginia and we got a few hexies done, but certainly it wasn't as visually appealing as I might have imagined and dreamed it would be. So thanks for putting up with me. And as always, it was great to talk to you last week. And now we're on to this week. We're going to have a busy show. I want to get a lot done. First, we're going to work on a Dear Jane block, Stepping Stone. And then we're going to work on a new doll called Bridget. And I'm going to sort of let you wait to see what Bridget looks like until about halfway through the show. So that's the plan. Before we even get into our Dear Jane block, I wanted to share with everyone who's doing the Bonnie Hunter Challenge my colors. And I pulled them out of the scrap pile and I bought some. So I've got, we'll see what I've got the teal, I've got the blacks and the greens and the pinks. And then my yellow is an Andover yellow. I don't know if I love it. It's all pretty bright. But, and then my neutrals here. But I'm excited about it. It's a mystery. We're going to have a cutting and swapping party here on Friday, here in the studio. We may even turn on FiberCast early that day. And we'll have the AccuQuilt Go cranking along. And I hope that anyone who's in the area who's doing Bonnie, please stop by. So it's the Friday after Thanksgiving. So that's Bonnie. The Grand Illusion Mystery. For anyone who hasn't checked it out, go to quiltville.blogspot.com and you can read all about it, and she will deliver the first clue that Friday after Thanksgiving at, I think, 7 a.m. So that's Bonnie. Now, the Dear Jane, why don't we get right into that? And, right before, though, I do Dear Jane, I wanted to just tie a bow on a couple of doll things that I've done in previous shows. One was, do you remember the chair? Well, it's done. And it can fit a little teddy bear. I love these doll things. And then, of course, I was playing with, it can fit Hitty. Hitty like fits in it perfectly. And then I have another doll that fits in it too. So anyway, another project done, that one. And we'll just leave Hitty right there. Who knows, maybe we can put her bear on her. Okay, so there's Hitty. Whoops, don't fall over, Hitty. Another Hitty project I'm doing, because remember I'm doing the Hitty of the Month thing, is I'm making her little sampler. Oh, she fell over again. Maybe we'll put the bear down below. And I have been getting ready to do that sampler. I don't know if you can see that. And I have all of the embroidery floss, and I made it bigger. You know, I sewed on extra fabric so I can do it in front of the TV. And I have painted the frame that it goes in and glued it together. So as soon as it's done, it'll pop in there, and then we can put that in the curio cabinet with Hitty and everything else. So that's done, but let's get into Dear Jane. I just kind of wanted to show you that I do finish these things. And I hope everyone out there is having a good night. Oh, and I just heard a hello. Happy Friday, Chris Myers. It is a fabulous, thank goodness it's FiberCast Friday. And I'm so glad you've tuned in. Let us know what you're working on. Okay. So, I'm working on M4. M as in Mary, 4. As always, send me email at lmarquedant@gmail.com or send me a text if you're out there and show me what you're working on while I'm working on something. Because again, it's all about what we can get done in the next 60 minutes. So I'm working on M4 stepping stones, and I've already glued the fabric in there. So I'm doing this one down at the bottom. Should be pretty straightforward. It's a lot of straight lines. And I'm going to use these two colors. Again, continuing my beach theme. And I've even cut out pieces. So I'm hoping that the piecing goes somewhat smoothly. And Mom, if you're out there, don't look. I'm using my good scissors. You know, if anyone else were to use my good scissors doing this, cutting paper, I'd be mad. But when it's me, somehow it's okay, right? Terrible. So I think you all know the drill from past Dear Jane blocks. I like to do these paper pieces. I like to do them in pieces. And I printed out from my Dear Jane software. And it works pretty darn well. With the exception that every single time I do this, I think, man, I'm using a lot of fabric. It has been rainy here all week in the New England area in the United States. Some places up north of us, like Manchester at the sea, I think I saw on the news tonight, they got 6.9 inches. That's crazy. The ground can't absorb that, I don't think, so quickly. So I think we've had some flooding, but we really, like a lot of the country, have needed rain. So we will take it, won't we? Now, oh, very interesting. I'm going to do the very middle unit. And it starts with just a white square. And then a couple of blue units. Oh, and it's so fun to be back at the machine. You know, after going away, when you come home, I don't know about you all, but Bob and I worked morning, noon, and night since we've been back. You always have to catch up, you know, and you probably, for us, we probably feel a little guilty that we missed, that we were out playing and not working. And yes, we do have to work on that, I know. I'm going to put, oh. Chris, I think folks will enjoy this. You know, we asked her what she's working on. She says she's working on a bag of chips and a People magazine. You go, girl. That's perfect. Does that one have a picture of Renee Zellweger? That's what I want to know. Inquiring minds. Okay. Anyway, we had such a nice time at the football game. It was, let's just say, I think it was confirmed to me again that I lucked out in marriage and I married up. We just had such a nice time with Bob's family and his nephew. Our nephew is the one who goes to West Virginia, and he couldn't have been more hospitable. They set up the tailgating for us. All we had to do on Friday night, maybe I said this to you last week, we bought the food for the tailgate, and then they set it up, and we just showed up and ate and then went to the game, and the game could not have been any better. West Virginia was playing Baylor, and Baylor was ranked number 4 in the country. I'm not a big football fan, but you know, those are the basics. And It was a close game the whole time, and West Virginia played incredibly well. And in the end, they won. So it was just really fun to be back on a college campus. And of course, it makes me I can't wait for other nieces and nephews to go to other schools. So we've done Clemson, we've done West Virginia. We could go back to West Virginia next year because Drew has one more year there. Michaela's up at Keene, and I don't think they have a football program. I haven't checked, but I don't think they do. They have a pumpkin festivity, as we all heard in the news. My niece was not there. So anyway, it's just so fun to think about where the nieces and nephews will go to school, and now we're rooting for big football schools because it's just so fun. Okay, so see, I keep just finger pressing open. If my iron's hot enough, I'll just press it with a good press. And I guess since I've seen you, I didn't tell you, unless I put it on Facebook, on our way home, we drove through Gettysburg, and that was great too. We want to go back there. We learned a lot. And actually, I have some good information for the Quilt Guild for our Civil War related activities next month. Who knew the Battle of Gettysburg was only 3 days? Took only 3 days. July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 1860, 3, 4, or 5. I don't know which one. Where's my dad when I need him? He sent me a postcard from Gettysburg years ago. Okay. So there's another one. And again, on the back, I just cut it out. And thanks to everyone's encouragement, I am going to start posting my Dear Jane blocks over on one of the Dear Jane sites. And I'd encourage you to do it too. You know? Like my sister-in-law said when she was at the game and she was posting pictures of us on Facebook. And this is my sister-in-law, who I would not call her a football fan, but she was being a trooper, and she was there with her husband and her girls. And she said, as she was snapping away and posting on Facebook, she said, if I'm going to go through this, I'm going to get life credit for it. Oh, that was pretty funny. I've been sewing with my machine on some of the doll body parts, and I'm used to a very tight stitch. Now the stitches seem quite loose. So I've got it down to 1.6 right now. This is going much faster since I've cut out the pieces. I like this color. One more. It's kind of that new tealy color that's going to be in our Grand Illusions quilt, I guess. I'm remembering, though, on Bonnie's first clue, I think she said to keep the teals more lighter if we're going with her color scheme, so that they don't have quite the same value or deepness as the greens. At least that's what I remember. So I think maybe I even pulled this teal out and decided not to use it for that very reason. I wish I could show you all of the scraps that go down to my feet after every one of these Dear Jane quilts blocks. And I tell you, I look forward to FiberCast all week. And which is kind of unusual. I must say I surprised myself, because anyone who knows me and has lived with me knows that I'm not very good with regular commitment. And it's a wonder that I'm continuing to do it. But I have to tell you, it's one of the few things that I get butterflies because I'm excited, but I don't get nervous about doing this. I get excited. And that is kind of a fun thing after a week of work things where I do feel the anxiety. So I'm sure many of you, or I think many of you, are the same way. This is our stress relief, right? See, so I'm just continuing to build all the little squares. And again, this is M4 stepping stones, if anyone has their Dear Jane in front of them. Sue, if you're out there, Sue Norton. Hi. I just saw your comment before we went on the air. And I saw that you're thinking about a yo-yo quilt. That's awesome. And a Lucy Boston. And I'm pretty sure the Lucy Boston is the same pattern as the POTC, Piece of the Cross. And it's paper piecing, and it looks like it can look like a cross in the middle, and it's made out of elongated hexagons. It looks really fun. Let us know what you end up doing. Sarah was over earlier this week, because she's the one who got me into the Bridgette doll one evening this week. And so I guess I didn't work all week, did I? She made the comment that I didn't have anything going, a project going. I almost fell off my chair. But what she meant was kind of a fast quilt project that I would do and get done. And that's true. My hexies are going to take forever. My Dear Jane is a long-term project. So it'll be nice to dive into Bonnie and really kind of motor on one project in addition to doing these. Okay, so we are getting there. Fun, fun, fun in the sun. Well, I guess I could get a little bit more economical with my fabric. Can you believe there was a case of Ebola in New York City? Jeez. I fear we might talk about this every week, and I hope that it doesn't touch any of us. Definitely, we have signed up for our flu shot. I don't know what people's sentiments are about that. I used to go like every other year, so I'd kind of tempt it. And I'd think, well, I'll do it one year, and then the next year I would not do it. Now I'm going every year. And to tell you the truth, actually, if I'm being really honest, probably the real reason I'm going is my company has an incentive program. They don't pay us to lose weight yet. That's coming, I'm sure of it. But right now they have, what do they say? Commit to one. So, you have to fill out a health survey every year. And that's easy enough. And then you have to commit to something. And it can be an improved nutrition program. It can be diabetes, a special diabetes program they've got. They have wonderful different options. It could be an exercise class, yada, yada, yada. Well, one of the commits is a flu shot. So I have them stick me with a needle instead of walking around the block. But the good news is that Bob comes with me. We literally go right to my office, and they've got the nurses in there, and we both get our shots. How's that for quilting talk? Ay, ay, ay. See, we're getting there. 4 more of those. Now, how are we doing? Okay, we've got time. Let's enjoy the process. Who knows? Maybe I won't finish all of this one Dear Jane block while we're together. But as always, I'll take a picture of it. Okay, so I don't know if you can see what I've got so far. Oh, let me do the ones that have diamonds in them, or triangles, not diamonds. And then it will come together. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do all 4 of them. Okay. So I hope you're working on your things wherever you are. And hello to many of our new watchers, our viewers. It's so nice to see that you watch it over the weekend. It's fascinating. People tune in, you know, when they're maybe on a Sunday afternoon when you're unwinding. And while your husband's watching football or whatever, or your wife's watching football and you're quilting. Does anyone follow Mickey Dupree? I think now she's MD Quilts. She has a really fun new quilt. I want to say it's Wall Castle or Castle Wall Block or something like that. She does it slightly differently from our English paper piecing. And I really like what she's done. She's made a scrappy version. She's selling the acrylic templates. And it's not something that I don't want to do. But I just wanted to call it out that I think she's doing a very nice job. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I forgot to cut out a few of these little white triangles. It's not a big deal. Another thing we went to see on our way home last weekend was Cooper's Rock. Anyone familiar with that out in West Virginia? It's probably, so there's a big river there, they call it the Monongahela, something like that. It goes through the center of Morgantown, and it cuts through, and Cooper's Rock is a place where you go in the forest and you overlook where the river has cut in. And I think it is the most spectacular view I've seen outside of the Grand Canyon. It has that kind of a big feel. So if you're ever in that area, it's worth going in. You drive in a couple of miles in the state park, and then when you get there, there are literally a couple of old stone structures. They had a couple of picnics there, and they were burning wood in a couple of the old stone structures. Oh, it smelled so good. People were throwing the football, and it was great. Great time. This is where it gets a little trickier for me. I'll show it to you in a minute. It just occurred to me I haven't showed you this one. I don't know if you can see the back. Probably not too well. That's the front so far. Now I'm going to put blue on either side. I just have to resign myself to the fact that I'm going to use a lot of fabric. Very good. I love it when a point comes out well. Okay. Iron it. I am definitely a convert now to ironing without any steam. All those years, I don't think I need it, at least for this. So there's another piece. That is going to go like that. Okay. So, watch this. Now I'm going to try and be stingy, and you watch. It won't. I bet I lose. I'll try it. Ooh. I hate it when I have a thread down in the bobbin area. I changed my bobbin. Oh, and I changed my needle. Sue, when you asked about changing needles, I put on, for my doll making, I put on a 60 Microtex. And that's what I'm using right now, actually, with Aurifil. And despite this little mishap, it's actually sewing pretty well. Okay, so let me peel this back. So who's out there? Send me an email. I'll check after I do these 4 pieces. I'll check and say hello to everyone. All right. Guess I forgot these little pieces. There that is again. Very good. It's looking good. Do you ever notice that some days you have better sewing days and more precision than others? Watch, now that I said that, now I'll make a big boo-boo. Oh, shout out to Chris, actually, for passing a really big certification exam. Congratulations. Or 4 exams, right? That is great. You just ensured yourself a job anytime you need or want it. Okay, so I'm going to cut that down. Yay! Another one. That will go here. I don't know if you can see that. Keep going. So I just keep pulling back my paper after every seam, cut off the excess, then finger press it. There's another diamond. Bum, ba, bum, bum. Uh-oh, hang on. That one and that one. This one's different. It's a good thing I learned how to read when I was little. Huh. Okay, I didn't goof though. This one only has 1. Ooh, I bet the point isn't going to be as good on this one, though. Well, it's not great. Cut it off just a little bit by a thread or two. Okay, so there's another piece. Aha, and that goes right there. Oh, this is like a puzzle. You can kind of see it right there. One more of these, and then I promise I'll check to see if anyone is out there. There we go. So. We'll do the other one. So now that I know that I'm going to be cutting the top of that flying geese, when I crossed over my 2 points, I came down like a thread or two so that when I go across, I should have a nice clean angle. We'll see. That's the theory. Okay, so there's the triangle. Now we'll sew across. And again, hopefully, get ourselves a better point. Could be better. Okay, so now we have, those are all there, and then we have an outer rim. So let me show you what we're striving for again, just as a reminder. We've got that one. And before I go any further, let's see who's out there and say hello. I've gotten so far as to research what phone I have. It's an iPhone 4, not the 4S. So it is, there's no Siri. And the operating system, I can only get up to a 7, so I can't even put on the new 8. Jean says hi. She is not on tonight, and tomorrow she's going to a tournament, but she said happy sewing. Happy sewing to you, Jean. I think I want some new glasses. I don't need new glasses. Hey, Sue. Sue says she's not feeling well. She's been under the weather, so not working on anything tonight. That I understand. Just kick back. You did get your flu shot a few weeks ago at work. Excellent. Free for any employee and their spouses, so I always get one along with my husband. Just like me. That's awesome. Just kicking back tonight with a hot cup of tea, so on. Feel better. Did I see that you're a chemist, Sue? Or it was a technical job, I thought. TGIF, Karen. The Karen in Pennsylvania, not out in San Francisco, says, welcome back to the studio. Thank you. Great to see you and hear about your travels. My Janome is in the shop getting fit and ready for November. Oh, yay. So instead of fiber arts, tonight I'm photoshopping for my creative outlet. Love, Karen. P.S. She says, get your flu shot and maybe, I know I was thinking of this too, and maybe even shingles and pneumonia if it's offered in your age range, with a big smiley. Very funny. Very, very funny. I was thinking of the shingles. Thank you for your loving, kind words. And that's great to hear about your Janome in the shop. I'm trying to get the New Hampshire sewing cleaning guy to come down and clean all of our machines for the Marathon Quilters, and he is nowhere to be found. So if anyone in the Massachusetts area has a good lead on a good sewing machine cleaner, let us know. We bring them to town, we give them lunch, and we can have anywhere from 15 to 30 machines for him to clean. It's a good day's work. Lorna, hi. TG, it's FiberCast. Amen. Love your fabric for the Bonnie Hunter quilt. Thank you. I'm looking forward to doing it. I've never done a mystery before. Just watching you. No projects tonight. Cool. I have to say kudos to you for broadcasting last week, sitting on the floor for over an hour. I would have never gotten up. Take care, Lorna. Well, thank goodness when I did get up, I wasn't on camera. Wasn't that funny? It just cut out for the last 5 minutes. That was really funny. No, I rolled over, and pushed myself up. But thanks for joining and tuning in. Joyce, hi, Joyce. Working on a leaf quilt this weekend, but tonight just watching. Must be a trend. I think we're all middle of October. It's been a busy fall. It's time to just chill a little bit. Joyce worked today, went grocery shopping, and now she's tired. Thanks for FiberCast. I'm glad you enjoyed the game. I love your Bonnie colors. Have a great weekend. You too, Joyce. You too. Keep posting. Joan, hi, Joan. Nice to talk to you. Joan says she can't wait till tonight. Me too. We're here. And she's sewing something. Joyce has all of her colors. Oh, Joyce, for her Bonnie Hunter, and she sent them to me. She had to go get new fabric. Poor me, she says. Yes, poor you. All mine is packed away. Oh, that is poor you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be. Okay, so all mine is packed away. That's right. Sorry, I got lots of fat quarters. So I got lots of fat quarters. I love to buy fabric. I'm sending you pictures, Joni. Oh, I love your yellows. So you're going with a variety of yellows instead of one solid. I love it. I don't know if people can see that. Perfect. Very pretty. Oh, we have new people subscribing. And Patty down in Texas, hope you're having a day wrapped in smiles. Aww. I am now. That's so nice. I hope to see you tonight. My plan is to make a walker carry all for my friend in the nursing home. Oh, excellent. My mom is in ICU after having emergency surgery on the 14th. I will be sewing between staying with her and waiting for doctors. Mom's doing better. Hope she gets a room soon. Oh, thanks for your show and your friendship, Patty in Texas. Oh, we're thinking of you. It's good that you're there with her. And take time for yourself. Drink lots of fluids. Eat good food. Oh, we have some new subscribers. So welcome to Lucy and Cindy and Kathy and Laura. Bara. Looks like Bara's over in Sweden somewhere, maybe? Or Norway? Sandra. Hi, Sandra. She says, good FiberCast evening. I'm with Chris tonight having my caramel flavored coffee and my Solutions magazine. Got my flu shot about 3 weeks ago at the senior center from the painless nurse. Excellent. I want that painless nurse. Have been working on my mile-a-minute crochet Afghan, turning into a long process. A mile a minute. Wow. Don't think I did a Dear Jane block this week, but have picked out my fabric for it. Love your hitty chair and your hexies. Did you say your block is M4? I will try that one too. Yes. M for Mary, 4. Stepping Stones is what it's called in my book. This is just so fun. I'm so glad you're all out there. As soon as I'm done, I see 2 more notes here. Then we're going to switch over to the Bridgette doll. Allison in Australia says, I'm here watching. I'm working on a fall mystery placemat, even though it's spring here in Australia. That's funny. Well, enjoy and send us pictures if you haven't already. Oh, I've got to check out your travel blog and your quilting blog. Again, this is Allison Hale. Hopefully it's showing up in the string somewhere. If not, I'll post it somewhere, Allison. Thanks for joining. And then this is from, oh, neat, Nancy in Iowa. Hi, Nancy. We'll have to catch you later, but this is what I finished this week. Started it on a retreat a few weeks ago. Remember when Nancy and all of her friends were watching us? Started it at the retreat. It's a Kim Deal table runner, small pieces, so don't look too close. I have started working on Dear Jane. What tips and tricks can you share? Ooh, lots. Oh, Nancy, I like this. Whoa, that is a lot of pieces. Check this out. So I don't know if you can see that. It might be too dark. I'm going to make it smaller. Looks like it's on your design wall still. Very nice. Those are kind of the newish colors that are in, aren't they? Very nice. Well, tips and tricks. There are all sorts of websites that show different ways to do each block. Let me do a little research, and the next time we're on, I will have the names of some of those websites. They literally print out different ways. So I'd say use applique to trick the eye oftentimes, and we'll get into them as we do each of these. And it's just plug away at it. Whoops. Sorry, guys, I dropped this. But we'll keep going over tips and tricks. And everyone write in if you have tips and tricks. A few weeks ago, Joyce Morganelli was with me, and she shared some excellent tips that I've actually written down, and I'll share those with you also. And it really had to do with going slowly, measuring twice, cutting once, literally slowing down your machine if you're machine piecing, and she had some other tips that I'll talk about next time. So that's awesome. Thank you, everyone, for being out there. So let's switch gears for a little bit, and we have a little bit of time left. Once I'm finished M4, I will post a picture. And Sandra, post a picture of yours when you're done, if you happen to do M4. And we will go from there. But I'm liking that. And I just wanted to do the variety because I'm so excited about this other project. It's called Bridget, and it is a doll class that I'm taking, an online class with the designer of the pattern, and her name is Marla Nierderer. And believe it or not, this is the doll. This is Bridget that I'm going to be making. And she is somewhere between 16 and 18 inches tall. So she's going to be tall. And what I've done so far is I have printed all of the pieces onto, oh boy, parchment paper. No, not parchment paper, freezer paper. See all those pieces? And then ironed it onto a double fabric of Kona cotton flesh-colored fabric. And very importantly, I'm following the grain, because once we stuff her, apparently the grain really will dictate how she fills out in 3 dimensions. So literally, look at that hand. That hand we have to sew around and then turn it inside out and literally use little teeny tiny tubes to turn each finger inside out. And we won't do that today. I'll show you that another time once I learn how to do it. So I have done, like, here's 1 foot that I sewed out. And I thought what I would do is use my hemostat. It's a little one. I need to get a bigger one. And my stuffing forks, if I get to it, to stuff with polyester. So I've got 1 foot. Oh, and these all need to be sewn around. But like this head, I sewed around and I drew around the other piece. And then I guess you do 2 halves this way, and then you do 2 halves on the back, and then you sew down the side of her. Oh, this stinks. I keep getting nests on the back of my... Something's wrong with my machine. Maybe there's just something in there, a piece of lint. And the instructions, so the way this class works is every week, just like Bonnie, she releases some instructions. And they're very thorough. And I'm a little bit behind, I must admit. But one of the instructions is to use pinking shears to, something to do with fraying, I guess. So that's where I'm at. I've done 1 hand already. I've sewn around it. What I do is I put the machine down to a 1 and sew that way. And I'll do a couple of these in the time we have left. But there's an upper arm done. I don't know what that is. Lower arm. Upper leg, so that's her thigh. She also is going to be ball jointed in kind of a whimsical way. It's not like plastic ball joints, but it's going to be little wooden ball joints. And so we're going to sew the torso to, there will be balls going down to each of her feet or legs, and then balls at her shoulders so that it makes the shoulders move up and down. There will be a ball in her elbows, and I think there's even one in her wrist. So that's going to be interesting to do. Anyway, upper leg, lower leg, foot. I already showed you that, right? These are the front and back torso. And let's see. This one's done the back of the head, so I can cut this one. I might bring this to open sew tomorrow. So I really have to get her done. At least this part. I'm going to save those. Okay. I think rather than stuffing, what I'm going to do is show you how I sew these. Just because it's kind of fun. And this machine is really good at it. Oh, and I got myself a cool new pen. Friction ball. This is cool. It irons it away. So say we write KB. That. Want me to do it again? And for our final minute of FiberCast, we're going to do magic tricks. Okay, see that heart? I heart you. Goodbye. Pretty cool, huh? Friction by Pilot. I got this one over at Emma's. It was $3.29. And I'm trying to keep reminding myself to shut it so that it doesn't get dry. So I hope it lasts a while. I'm loving it. Anyway, okay. So I've ironed my pattern. I've printed my patterns onto freezer paper, which has wax on the back. I've cut them out, and now I've ironed them onto a double set of this Kona cotton. I've put this down to 1.0 stitch length. I've got a Microtex needle. I've got Aurifil thin thread. What is it, 40 weight or 50 weight? I think it's 40 weight. I start sewing, I turn it around and come back to the end and then turn it around again. So I've just set my stitch. I'm gonna go pedal to the metal a little bit until I get to a corner. Needless to say, when you do the fingers, it's like one stitch and then you turn it up. You move the foot. So I'm working my foot, I'm working my hand, and I'm really having fun with it because it's really like sculpting with fabric. So I get to the end, just flip it around, flip it around again. I'm just going to go right over here to my next one. And I think that might be about all the time we have for FiberCast. Let me do one more. Did you notice when I started this, I went back and forth instead of this little turning around? All right, so let's take this out, cut it. You see? Another upper leg done, ready to be stuffed. And an upper arm. So we had a little bit of Dear Jane, a little bit of Bridget. As always, it was a wonderful night. Thanks for spending time with me. Thanks for just chilling, relaxing, sewing, sharing your projects. I love to see them. And have a great week. And we'll see you here again next Friday night on Halloween. Have a good week, everyone. Bye.